Today's topic is about the book The Essence of Poverty. About the authors. Abhijit Banerjee and Esther Duflo are both professors at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. Banerjee is the Ford Foundation Professor of International Economics at MIT and has served as an honorary advisor to the World Bank. Duflo is the Abdul Latif Jameel Professor of Poverty Alleviation and Development Economics in the MIT Department of Economics and was named one of the 8 outstanding economists by The Economist magazine in 2009. About the book. The Essence of Poverty has won the Best Book of the Year award from the Financial Times. The book is based on 15 years of empirical research by the 2 authors and mainly discusses the causes of poverty and reflections on mainstream poverty alleviation concepts. Why are the poor so poor? Lack of effective risk avoidance tools. The poor often have many children not because of backward beliefs, but as a rational strategy to avoid risks such as old age and healthcare. Since there is often no social security system in their countries, they rely on their children for support. However, there are too many uncertainties with children, so the poor often choose to have more children to spread the risk. Marriage is also a way to avoid risk. Poor Indians generally marry their daughters to villages that are not too far away. If the 2 villages are too close, they may face the same climate risks, such as floods. By maintaining a certain distance, they can help each other in times of disaster. The poor borrow from high-interest lenders because the formal financial system excludes them. The high interest rates charged by these lenders are determined by risk pricing, not exploitation. The poor use high-interest loans to avoid potential disasters and illnesses, but it is almost impossible for them to escape poverty due to the high cost of interest and their high default rates. Lack of long-term planning. Most poor people do not value education even when charitable organizations come to build schools and promote its benefits. Parents are not motivated because they are not sure which of their many children will support them in old age. Education is a long-term investment with uncertain returns, so they prefer to spend money on immediate needs like food. Despite their poverty, when poor people receive food subsidies from charitable organizations, they often use the money to buy luxuries like televisions and radios. Contrary to our intuition, for the poor, their priority is not to fill their stomachs but to add a little excitement to their hopeless lives. Poverty is associated with high levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Chronically high cortisol levels can affect important cognitive function areas of the brain, such as the prefrontal cortex and amygdala. Therefore, poor people who are constantly under stress are less likely to make rational or long-term decisions. Stubbornness and prejudice. The poor spend a significant portion of their income on healthcare, but their spending patterns are often unscientific. For example, they have a strong preference for antibiotics and often undergo unnecessary surgical procedures. They are reluctant to spend small amounts on preventive care but are willing to borrow money for expensive treatments when their health deteriorates. They believe that intravenous drugs are more effective than oral medications, leading to overuse of antibiotics. Convincing poor parents to vaccinate their children can be challenging due to their mistrust of vaccines. They may doubt the effectiveness of vaccines because not all unvaccinated children contract diseases. Educated parents may feel deceived if a vaccine only prevents one illness and not others, leading them to refuse future vaccinations for their children. Similarities in thinking. Many people save money by skimping on necessities like gym memberships and health checkups. However, when diagnosed with a serious illness, even in its late stages, they are willing to go into debt to fund expensive treatments that may only prolong their lives by a few months. Many young people become addicted to online games, neglecting their work and studies. This is because game designers use psychological principles like instant feedback to keep players engaged. In contrast, work and study require long-term effort and may not provide immediate gratification. We all have biases in areas where we lack knowledge or understanding. For example, people who oppose genetically modified foods, GMOs, online may not fully understand what GMOs are and base their opposition on emotions rather than facts. Similarly, when we go to the doctor, we may assume that unnecessary tests are being ordered even if we don't understand the reasons behind them. In summary, the reasons for poverty are threefold: limited access to risk avoidance tools, a focus on short-term gains without long-term planning, and cognitive biases due to limited knowledge or understanding. It's important to note that these issues are not exclusive to the poor but are also present in varying degrees in all societal levels. The mistakes made by the poor are often mirrored in our own lives as well. That's all for today. Let's meet again next time.